Hey you guys, happy Friday. Hopefully you're staying warm. It is freezing outside. I just got home from the grocery store and holy wow, here in Columbus, Ohio, it is really, really cold. So if you're somewhere in another part of the country that's much warmer, I am very envious of you right now. As I said, it's Friday, and I'm starting something new each week on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. I'm going to do a Fitness Friday Q&A. So I'm going to answer all the questions that you guys have for me throughout the week that I think many of you have a lot of the same questions. So it's going to do a couple that have come in through social media or clients and hopefully help you guys out a little bit with some of the things that you're wanting to know more about. My first question is one that I get asked a lot actually. Can you exercise too much? And the answer is actually yes. Exercise is really good for you, obviously, has many great benefits and really healthy. But there's a certain point where you can negate those benefits by really overdoing it. If you're exercising multiple hours a day and you're not a professional athlete, you're probably doing more than you need to do. You start to just becomes very hard on the body, and especially if you're not allowing yourself enough time to recover from really intense workouts, you're just going to run yourself into the ground and, make yourself sick, and you can cause a lot of nasty things, hormonal processes that can shut down, or your body stops burning fat. So depending on what your goals are, really more than 30 to 45 minutes a day shouldn't be necessary. It obviously depends on how much weight you have to lose, whether you're trying to build strength or lose fat, what you're doing with your diet. However, we should always be kind of looking to make dietary changes first rather than increasing the amount of exercise to bring about more weight loss. Yes, you should definitely get movement in throughout your day, which is things like just walking, take the dog for a walk, or, getting up off the couch. I don't count that as exercise, but I think you should be more conscious of your overall movement and not trying to exercise multiple hours in a day. The second question I have is about nutrition. When we're logging food and we're tracking carbohydrates, should you subtract net carbs? And you may have seen or heard of this, and even some nutrition labels will say, only so many grams of net carbs. So when we're talking carbohydrate, you have sugar and you have fiber. And some fiber is not digested by your body. Most of it isn't. Actually, it's what helps you kind of push things out, if you will, which is why we want to have a lot of fiber in our diet. So the more fibrous the food, the better, generally. That's why things like non-starchy vegetables are so great, because their carbohydrate ratio to fiber ratio is very even. So you're getting a lot of fiber with your sugar molecules. However, there is some fiber that does ferment in your intestines and is broken down. And we can't really know which kinds of fiber we're taking in. A carbohydrate to me is a carbohydrate. You want to pay attention to making sure you're getting enough fiber in your diet, which should be at least 25 grams a day of good, healthy fiber, up to about 40. And balance that with your carbohydrate intake. However, when I work with clients and have them tracking how their overall grams of carbohydrates in their diet, we do not subtract net carbs. I just think you're playing with a science that you don't really know exactly what your body's doing, and honestly, it almost seems like an excuse. Third question. I love this. I had a client say she's not quite losing the weight the way she expected to. Is she doing something wrong, or is she just impatient? And that, answer to that question is not easy, and obviously depends on your own unique situation. But we often expect to lose a lot more weight a lot more quickly than we're probably actually going to. And of course, it's going to depend on what kind of means you use, how extreme your measures are. But how can you know when it's time to change something up, or if you need to just stay the course? That's a great question. With me and my clients, I tend to recommend at least 4 weeks of real compliance. And I mean both with the exercise and with the nutrition program. You need to be 90% spot on for at least 4 weeks, oftentimes 6 to 8, before we really start seeing those really impressive changes happen. And unless you're being compliant, you really can't know if what you're doing is working. So first assess your compliance. Are you 50%, 75, 90? I would suggest 90% compliance or better for at least 4 to 6 weeks, and then start to look at whether or not you might want to bring the calories down, increase the intensity of your workouts, etc., to see if you can't bring about better results. No program is going to be perfect from the design because we don't know. Everybody's body is an individual, and especially when we're talking nutrition, we may think that you need more calories and maybe you need to lower them to lose weight. Maybe you need to eat more. Working with a qualified professional is going to help you in that. It's really hard to do that alone, and sometimes it's hard to be honest with ourselves about our compliance. So start with compliance. Once you've stuck to it, give it at least 4 to 8 weeks, and then look at what small changes you can make to bring about better results. That's it for this week. Thanks so much for checking in on the Fitness Friday Q&A. Please send me your questions. Email me melanie.ash, A-S-H, at melanieashfitness.com, or you can always hit me up on the Facebook page or here on YouTube. Have a great day.